Hey, it's Kyle.
Hey, it's Cecil Grimes.
And you're watching 9.9 Comics with Chris and Kyle.
Watch it. Sorry, guys. Stay alive.
Hi, welcome to 9.9 Comics with Chris and Kyle.
I'm Kyle.
And I'm Chris, and today we'll be talking about comics getting released May 2nd, 2018. I get to start things off this week, and we're going to start off with IDW, with one I'm super excited about.
I'm jealous about this one that he gets to talk.
Star Trek The Next Generation Through the Mirror #1.
Woo woo!
So this is a follow-up for the smash hit miniseries Mirror Broken. Granted, I think Mirror Broken #1 was one of the only Star Trek comics that's ever gone into second print.
Correct.
So this is a big deal.
Yeah.
The Mirror Universe Next Generation crew is looking for new worlds to conquer, and they're crossing over to the Prime Star Trek universe to find them. Mm-hmm. Also, in each issue, just how did the Mirror Universe crew find their way to ours? And what does Emperor Spock have to do with it?
Oh.
Backup stories every issue, illustrated by Mirror Broken co-creator J.K. Woodward. It just says J.K. in the thing.
Yeah,
his last name's Woodward.
He's not just joking. Or just kidding, whatever.
So that's really exciting one, especially since I think everybody here in the store is a Star Trek nerd. So.
Yes, and it's really cool that it's gonna have the Prime.
Yeah, it's gonna be the Mirror
crew.
Universe coming into the Prime Universe.
Right, and we'll get to see because I mean, Mirror Broken was good. It's just it wasn't the original crew, but now we get to see the original crew interact
Dealing
with the Mirror
Universe crew.
This will be a really good one. I'm excited for it.
Then next we have from Dark Horse, Xerxes Fall of House Darius #2. This is Frank Miller's return to 300. Definitely still collectible. We talked about the first one, so go ahead and pick that up.
Yeah, I read the first one. It was really good. I enjoyed it.
Then we have a new to Diamond publishing company, Omnimorphic, Alien Toilet Monsters #1. So this has been out, kind of like with Battle Cats. It had been out and sold independently at like conventions and stuff, and Diamond's finally picked it up. It's already got a huge following and great reviews on a bunch of the review sites.
Right.
So this is a bit of a big deal. Alien Toilet Monsters is a new series that finally answers the age-old question: are we alone in the answer? And are we alone in the universe? The answer is both yes and well, no. You see, it depends entirely on which universe you mean. Forbidden worlds, circular love triangles, and assuredly hard sci-fi. Alien Toilet Monsters is a densely packed miniseries aimed at mature readers. It's best quantified as a nihilistic satire that shamelessly probes the underside of humanity, poop jokes not included. Interesting. That's a pretty good premise for it. I might have to pick it up and read it, actually. I love nihilism.
Yeah.
Next, out of Scout Comics, we have Cyber Spectre #1. In a world run by supercomputers and where the judicial system is purely digital, oh my god, there is no human error, just a singular artificial intelligence that calculates the outcome of every possible crime. From murder to drug deals, the computer determines the fate of all humanity. But there's a crime that seems to have slipped through the cracks. The cracks.
Clacks.
The clacks. Crack, clack. I mean, they're both sound effects, too.
Yes. Onomatopoeias.
Who or what is the Cyber Spectre? A special backup feature. The Kromp.
Yeah, Kromp. You said that right.
Yeah, the Kromp, but that's what I'm saying. Is like, oh man, what is with these words? By Rich Ems and Carlos Zuniga, rounds off this first issue. I probably butchered.
So it sounds a lot like Minority Report.
Yeah, it sounds a lot like Psycho-Pass too. I just watched Psycho-Pass, which is a lot like Minority Report.
Cool.
Oddly enough.
Cool beans.
Instantly jumped to one of my top fives. Next, speaking previously of Battle Cats, out of Mad Cave Studios, we have Battle Cats number 3 of a 5 run. We talked about why Battle Cats was a huge deal in the previous episode. We did briefly already touch on it, so definitely want to keep picking up these. The 1 and 2 did really well in the store, especially for a breakout publisher to Diamond. Good things. Next, out of Boom Studios, Coda number 1 out of 12, Main and Mix. Brief summary of this: Simon Spurrier, the Spire Godshaper, and Matthias Bergara, Cannibal and Supergirl, present a broken fantasy world that's perfect for fans of Mad Max and Lord of the Rings. Well, that's gonna be fun.
I do love my Lord of the Rings.
How do you mix those two? That's kind of strange.
Lord of the Max?
It's like if Sauron won.
Yeah.
In the aftermath.
Invented internal combustion motors.
In the aftermath of an apocalypse which wiped out nearly all magic from a once wondrous fantasy world, a former bard named Hum, a man of few words, so nicknamed because his standard reply is seeks a way to save the soul of his wife with nothing but a foul-tempered mutant unicorn in his midst to protect him, but is unwillingly drawn into the brutal power struggle which will decide forever who rules the weird wasteland. That's a tongue twister. Oversized first issue with 40 pages of story content and additional back matter at no extra cost. It's a good deal. I like the sound of it.
I'm ready for this one.
Getting into the big boys now. Image Comics, Walking Dead 179.
I'm doing fireworks for you. Keep reading.
I know, but it's not time for the fireworks. You're gonna confuse people. New World Order Part 5. I'm gonna give you the one-line summary that they give us, which is, could mean a lot of big things. The journey home. There's nothing worse than returning with fewer people than you left with. So if you're could this be a death of?
If you're keeping up, that could mean a couple of things. We're not going to go into details. We don't want to spoil anybody who hasn't read the last issue, which has been a month. Read it. But
wait, what?
I'm not talking to you, but I am talking to you. Just the royal you, as in you all, y'all.
Y'all, the royal southern
the royal y'all. So this could be a big deal, guys. Definitely you want to grab it. I think the last big issue that happened was Death of Andrea.
Yeah, and you can already tell via Diamond's ordering that this is already a big deal. It's already out of stock.
Right, out of stock, hasn't even been on the shelf yet. Everyone just bought as much as they fiscally could.
So, then I believe we have a new number 1 out of Image. Nope. First, we're gonna go into Spawn. Number 285, cover A. Is a Matina variant, and guess what? Every other variant is a Matina variant.
Yes, so that really awesome, like dark, detailed.
A lot of detail. Oh my lord, is there so much detail in this cover?
Like the energy coming off the eyes.
The cover A, it's got like half of his face, like the burnt skull, underneath the mask, and half of the face, the mask, and holy cow, the burnt skull.
And
it's honestly not. It's pleasant and not pleasant to look at the same time.
There are other covers, like one is just the skull and one is just the Spawn mask.
Yeah. So this is, right now, they're doing a big vamp up towards the Spawn movie, so you should probably be picking up some of these issues. Oh, I'm so stoked about
this. Oh, God.
Summary of this issue, particularly, Spawn's new powers continue to manifest as he finds he's able to do things he never could before.
Oh, new powers. Cool.
Yeah, so kind of a key issue.
I wonder if they're cloak-related, or cape-related. Or if it's more just like a demonic power, which I hope it is. Like, some kind of crazy thing like that you can't even imagine without reading it.
And now, spoiler alert, it's the new Image number 1.
Yeah. Oh no, where'd you get that idea?
This one's Death or Glory number 1. It sounds interesting.
It's a gem.
It is gemmed by Diamond.
And it's done by the guy who did
it's the New York Times bestselling author Rick Remender, and a legendary French superstar artist, Bengal. I don't know if he has a last name, just Bengal.
You don't need a last name when you're a superstar, Chris.
You don't need a last name.
Which is why in
you don't need a last name when you're named after a tiger.
Yeah, I guess so. That's why my buddy Tony doesn't have a last name.
Okay, brief summary of this one. Meet Glory, raised off the grid in a convoy amid truckers, the last men and women fighting for true freedom on the American open road. Now, in order to pay for her beloved dying father's surgery, Glory has 3 days to pull off 4 dangerous cross-country heists with mob killers, crooked cops, and a psycho ex-husband all out to bring her in or die trying. The new ongoing series by New York Times bestselling author Rick Remender and legendary French superstar Bengal brings you a high-speed chase across the American West that examines our dwindling freedoms and the price paid for those who fight for an untethered life in this special double-sized first issue with 40 pages of story.
40 pages.
So another big book. So it looks like it's going to be fun. It looks like it's rooted in the political climate of today,
Right.
with the dwindling freedoms. But it's also a trucking heist comic, so who knows?
Yes. It'll have trucks and heists.
Tractor trailers.
Yes, same.
I know.
All right, my turn, and we're going to start off with Marvel with which was going to be the 9.9 no-brainer. Hunt for Wolverine, weapon lost. No, I'm kidding. It wasn't going to be the 9.9 no-brainer. I'm just trying to push.
It was the 9.9 no-brainer last week, though.
Yeah.
Not this one.
Yeah, no. But Hunt for Wolverine, weapon lost, number 1 of 4. So a little synopsis. Wolverine may be the best there is at what he does, but so are they. As one of the biggest mysteries in the Marvel Universe unfolds, Daredevil assembles a squad of uncanny detectives to track down Wolverine, Misty Knight, Frank McGee, and the mutant known as Cypher, investigating recent sightings across the globe of a man believed to be Logan. The squad uncovers a deep conspiracy with huge ramifications for the return of Wolverine. Parental advisory. I like all these parental advisories Marvels are coming up with. Brings me back to the early days when I used to read War Machine USA. That was a dirty comic. Anyway, moving on to You Are Deadpool, number 1 of 5. This is a really good idea. I don't know if this has ever been done in comics before.
I love this idea, and it's the perfect character to do it with.
So listen to this, guys. Did you ever want to be Deadpool? I know most of you guys in morph suits I see at conventions do. Now's your chance. This weekly series is not just the most amazing comic book you've ever read, it's also a role-playing adventure. You decide what choices Deadpool makes. You keep track of the scores issue by issue, and you roll the dice to combat various foes. Travel through Marvel history as Deadpool to meet Hulk in the swingin' 60s. Swingin' 60s, is that even a thing? I thought it was the... Okay, whatever. To smell Man-Thing in the swampy 70s, to be seen by Daredevil in the hard-boiled 80s. See, that's a dig. That's a dig, guys, for real. Anyway, and avoid the many bad endings you could fall into, or suffer the consequences. Another parental advisory. I mean,
maybe,
it's Deadpool.
Maybe they're hinting that he's gonna be Daredevil as a child before the accident.
We'll see.
Doubt it, because the scene's in quotes.
But I mean, that's a new idea. I think me and Chris should get it in that weekend.
I want to definitely do it because it's the perfect idea for Deadpool because he can break the fourth wall.
Yeah, and so
you can make a decision, and you can get a decision and be like, I knew that was gonna happen.
It's the right character to do it with. And then coming out of Marvel, this is a really big deal, guys. Avengers number 1. A new era dawns for Earth's mightiest heroes. Courtesy of Jason Aaron and Ed McGuinness, Thor Odinson, Steve Rogers, Tony Stark, the big 3 of the Avengers are reunited at last, and just in time to save the world from total annihilation at the hands of their most powerful enemies yet, the 2,000-foot-tall space gods known as Celestials. Celestials. Ooh. Behold the coming of the final host, who will answer the call to assemble for a wild new era of Earth's mightiest heroes. Hint, one of them has a flaming skull for a head. I wonder who that could be. and Brimstone. And what strange world-shaking connection exists between the final host and Odin's ancient band of prehistoric Avengers? Rated T+. So it's not a parental advisory this time, guys. Finally, one that the younger ones can read.
So this is a big deal. Ties into Donny Cates' Ghost Rider, it looks like. And also with the Odin's ancient band of prehistoric Avengers. That ties in way back to Legacy #1.
Right, I remember when that was first mentioned. That was a while ago.
And Ghost Rider was a big deal in that Legacy comic already.
Yeah.
So
Ghost Rider's been
it was the
pivotal
Ghost
character.
Rider, the Hispanic Ghost Rider in that one was the narrator for Legacy.
All right, moving into DC. I'm always gotta give him a props to DC. Action Comics Special #1. I do believe last week Action Comics issue 1000 came out. That was a really big deal. I missed out on a couple of my variants that I wanted just because they were bought. They sold out like that. I was able to get 3 of them though. 3 ones I'm proud of, especially the one where Superman is like moving all like the stone that's around him, and it's,
I didn't get that one.
Yeah, it looks awesome. Anyway, Action Comic Special #1. The last will and testament of Lex Luthor. When Superman's world was born, his greatest enemy became his most unexpected ally. But does that truly reflect Lex Luthor, or was that all a sham? Now, as Lex Luthor's path towards righteousness reaches its apex, he finds himself involved in an adventure in which Superman stands to be destroyed. What choice will Luthor make? Will he save Superman, or watch him die at the hands of a foe he could not possibly imagine? This oversized special also features stories from the acclaimed teams of Max Lanz and Francis Manapul, in a story previously stated to appear in the DC Universe Holiday Special 2017 #1, and Mark Russell and Jill Thompson. So, yeah, that's actually really interesting. That's something that, because I'm not a big Superman fan, but I grew up with Superman, especially like the old 30s ones. And one thing that was always like, I thought it was like, what if it's happening right now? What if Lex Luthor and Superman were fighting together, and then if Lex Luthor had the choice to save Superman, would he? So this is going to be a big deal, especially genre defining for Lex Luthor altogether in the entire Action Comics DC universe.
It's like infamous Lex Luthor.
Right. I like what you did there. He knows how to press the right buttons. I love Infamous Iron Man. And then moving on to Deathstroke #31. This is the part 2 of Deathstroke versus Batman, guys. The war between Deathstroke and Batman escalates when the Dark Knight foils one of Deathstroke's assassination attempts. Meanwhile, a mysterious package brings Commissioner Gordon and Bruce Wayne's doorstep, and Adeline Kane, Slade Wilson's ex, sets her sights on Batman.
A Kane? Another Kane.
Yeah, who's related to Batman. Dang you and you Kanes! Batman's relatives are always trying to kill him.
All of them but Cassandra.
Yeah.
No, that's a different Kane.
Whatever.
Batwoman's a Kane, though. Yeah, her name.
It's Cassandra Kane.
No, it's Kate Kane.
Kate Kane, that's right. And then, as I already brought him up, Curse of Brimstone #2. What do you do after you unknowingly make a deal with the devil that transforms you into Brimstone, and you can't stop the constant feeling of screaming, fiery pain burning from head to toe? Joe Chamberlain is determined to relieve himself of this curse by tracking the devil by his tail. That is, if the devil's hound doesn't get to him first. Devil's hounds? You mean hellhounds are gonna be in this? Supernatural Shadow. Shasha! Anyway, it's a gem of the month.
I love all these new Ghost Rider comics coming out.
But it's a gem of the month, guys, which is interesting for #2. So that might mean something. We'll figure that out when it comes out. I'm going to take a look at it. That's over for that. And going on, I brought him up recently. I can't remember where, but Paul Dini is coming out with a new comic, guys, with the release of Harley Loves Joker, #1 of 2. Paul Dini, as most of you may well know, is the creator of Harley Quinn and one of the writers for the old Batman animated series, Batman Beyond. If you grew up watching Batman as a kid, you are familiar with Paul Dini's work. Paul Dini returns to the character he co-created to deliver the incredible 2-issue wrap-up of the Harley Loves Joker flashback tale that ran as a backup in Harley Quinn last year. As far as the Joker is concerned, the new headquarters Harley built for them is absolutely perfect. But only she knows the whole place is rigged to come crashing down around them, and she doesn't know how to stop it. So all of you guys who are digging the Harley Joker relationship deal that has been blowing up over the past few years, especially with the release of Suicide Squad, it's a good time for Harley. It's a good time for Joker. I believe this is a good piece to pick up, especially with Paul Dini. I mean, it doesn't matter what kind of story that guy writes. He's a good storyteller. He knows how to tug at the heartstrings. So I'm really going to be looking forward to that one. So that ends DC for us. Or does it? Because it is time for the 9.9 no-brainer! Me! So, today it's been a while since we've had a DC no-brainer.
It has been.
So
And
today,
Doomsday Clock.
right, yeah, I think so.
Or no, Metal 6.
Yeah, which was a few weeks ago. But,
Yeah. A month ago.
so, DC Nation #0 is coming out, and this is a pivotal comic. Especially, it's a weird comic. It's gonna be only 25 cents, and it's gonna have basically 3 comics in it. I'm gonna read the synopsis on it just because there's a lot to it. There's a lot to ingest in this no-brainer. It's a good one. These stories will appear only in this comic book and will not be reprinted in another comic book before each series' collected editions. Only the first printing of this issue will have the cover price of 25 cents. This issue will ship with 4 covers. So that means to be marked for the first printing, you don't really have to look at the barcode anymore. If it says 25 cents on this issue, that's the collected edition that you want. Anything else is just for reading. Just in time for Free Comic Book Day, by the way. This special comic comes priced at just 25 cents, like I said. Features 3 brand new stories from a lineup of superstar talent, and each tale serves as a prelude to some of the biggest DC events in 2018. First, find out how the Joker reacts when he discovers Catwoman has turned her back on crime and plans to marry his arch nemesis. Can the Clown Prince of Crime stand to see Batman happy? Writer Tom King and artist Clay Mann set up the events that lead to Batman #50, which we've been waiting for this, guys. This is the marriage between Catwoman and Batman. Then, Dark Knight's metal shook the DC universe to its deepest foundations. Now it's time to read, literally the foundations. Now it's time to rejoin legendary writer Scott Snyder, along with all-star artists Jorge Jimenez and co-writers James Tynion IV and Joshua Williamson, for the prelude to Justice League: No Justice. Discover what universe-shattering mysteries have emerged from the most wondrous and chaotic corners of the cosmos to hunt the Justice League in DC's summer blockbuster event. And get your first glimpse at Superman's new world in this exclusive preview of the upcoming 6-issue miniseries, Man of Steel, with, listen to this, guys, written by Brian Michael Bendis, my dog from infamous Iron Man, with art by Jose Luis Garcia Lopez, with truth, justice, and the American way all under attack. Both Superman and Clark Kent find there's never been a more important time to stand up for what they believe in. That's a good chunk of information, guys. And also, it is very important if you're a DC fan, let alone a comic book reader. You should probably pick this up. I mean, it's just 25 cents. And how many pages is this sucker?
You can find that underneath your seat in your car. Come on.
32 pages for 25 cents, guys. So it's an oversized comic book, 3 stories in it that are all integral to the DC universe. 25 cents. And it's you can't after that if it's ever going to be reprinted ever, it's not going to have the 25 cent issue mark, which is important for us collectors. And obviously it's a gem of the month for Diamond. I mean, if it wasn't, I would seriously question their
3 giant.
Oh yeah.
I mean, not lengthwise, but importance-wise, stories, setting up, like I said, the biggest events of 2018.
With
So
names
for
names
2018,
like Tom King, Brian Michael Bendis, and what was the other one?
Scott Snyder.
Scott Snyder, yeah. I believe
And art by Clayman and
Right.
others. I mean,
The-
Clayman's art style is
25
amazing.
cents, 32 pages. I'm still blown away by this, and I've known about this, and it's still blowing me away. So that's it for today, guys. Don't miss out on DC Nation
This
number
episode's
0.
been a lot of fun of foreshadowing.
Yes.
The entire episode was foreshadowing.
Anyway, that wraps it up. Remember to like and subscribe and comment, share, and join if you're not already joined the Facebook 9.9 Kyle's Facebook 9.9 Kyle 9.9 Comics with Chris and Kyle's Facebook group 9.9 Comics with Chris and Kyle. Do it. It's open. I had it closed and there was a question about Donny Cates, but I figured that was too elitist, so I made it open. And we are now a community. So please join, and that's where you can go for news and stuff like that. And also look up a good community building for comic book lovers and just nerds all together. For if you just want to know about if you're like me and Chris and we're gamers and comic book nerds, Alpha Nerds United Facebook page. It's a good place to get your news, comic reviews. Our buddy Mickey does awesome reviews on there, and our content is also shared on there. It's a sister site. So, and also we're gonna have, I don't know if you guys, but we are both Alpha Nerds right here. And 9.9 Comics is gonna start doing Alpha Nerd United clothing.
Merchandise, yes.
Yes. So, only requirement is to be a cool dude or female. Cool, an adequate female or an adequate male.
Alpha nerd.
Yeah, basically. But with that, we bid you adieu.
Have a good night.
And you got it in that time. Later, guys.